Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, you're listening to World Combat Sports. It's Thursday, and I don't have to tell you, it's one day closer to the weekend for everybody and anybody who's waiting for that one day left, Friday, so we can get the weekend jumping. You know what I'm saying? So we can get closer to another fight night weekend affair. But today, man, we're going to tune in to the Covington and Woodley presser, the UFC fight night that's going down real soon. Like I say, real soon. We're talking about this weekend. I know it haven't been talked about too much, but guess what? World Combat Sports here, boxing, mixed martial arts. I have to bring it to your doorstep. You know what I'm saying? Dump it in your lap, sit down, and let's discuss what's going on, how important this is, see what the fighters have to say, so I'm going to share screen, you all, and tune in. For those of you that drop through and support World Combat Sports, much appreciated. Salute. Hit the thumbs up button. It's simple. You know what I'm saying? So let me share this right quick. So we're almost there. I'm just going to give you a full screen view.
Fight Night, Covington versus Woodley, live and exclusive on ESPN+. A pivotal light heavyweight fight between ranked contenders is one of the marquee matchups on the main card. Introducing first, riding an 8-fight win streak, including a recent win over MMA legend Antonio Rogerio Nogueira. Here is Dana White's Contender Series alum, Ryan Superman Spann. And his opponent, a wild, dynamic finisher from Brazil. 17 career wins, 16 finishes. Welcome, the always dangerous Johnny Walker. Next, we move to the middleweight division. In the blue corner, fighting out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, a submission ace with 23 tap-outs on his record. This is Gerald GM3 Mershart. And now, the summer's hottest prospect, who lives by the motto, anywhere, anytime, any place. Looking to shatter the UFC record for the quickest time to 3 octagon wins in just a
Chimaev.
6 days. Here is Hamza Chimaev.
Hey, Chimaev, one of the baddest dudes on the rise right now, real talk.
And in the co-main event, don't blink, it's all action every time this man enters the octagon. Coming off one of the best fights of 2020 and owner of 13 finishes in
Nico Price.
Wins. Introducing Nico, the hybrid Price.
Tough dude.
And he is a surefire UFC Hall of Famer, tied for the most fights in UFC history at 36. 23 wins in the UFC, the most in UFC history. 16 finishes, the most in UFC history. The most performance bonuses of all.
Cowboy.
This is Donald Cowboy Cerrone.
What's up, everybody? Thanks for taking the time to come out today. Weekend's going to be awesome. We've got nothing but great fights now. Closing out the end of this year. We get this fight on Saturday, then we leave Sunday morning for Fight Island, Abu Dhabi.
We don't need to hear all that.
In any of his fights that I've seen, he hasn't met real resistance, and I think that's going to be a big test. I don't care how many amateur fights you have.
You lose your fights. You are like in the shadow, like what is friend to Conor, what is it, Artem Lobo. You are same shadow. How many times you lose your fights?
Oh, about quite a few fights. 31 and 13.
You think you're black belt?
Yeah.
But
yeah, when you
Jack
fight tough guys,
Jack Van Hermanson, he did not have a black belt. Why he choke you out?
Sometimes you lose when you fight tough guys, man.
Who give you?
You'll find out.
Belt. I have blue belt. I'm gonna choke you out.
You can go ahead and try there, buddy.
You have to give me your black belt to me.
All right. If you choke me out, I'll find a black belt, give it to you. How about that?
If I choke you out, you are finished with this sport.
Okay. If I double leg you, do I get like a wrestling trophy or something?
If you double leg me, try it.
Okay, I will. All right.
Oh man,
Cowboy, real quick. Cowboy, I mean,
that was a little bit.
Went on quite the run.
That was elementary trash talking.
Something renewed to start another run like that.
I don't know if it's new energy, but little kids are cool, man. They definitely give you a newfound respect for life. But nah, this one's for me. This doesn't have any shit I lost for, so I don't have anything else. You know, it's not like, oh, I gotta go win this one. This is just for fun, man. So that's scary for me because, man, for Price, like, man, I'm an animal. I'm coming for fun. So that's what I'm gonna do in there is have a lot of fun for once. I don't have any pressure, any must wins. Hey, man, this is fucking go and have
Dick and 305 in the building. Salute to you.
Dangerous cowboy he can face, you know. And is it the kids?
Appreciate you pulling up.
Nah, it's Saturday night. I just want to have.
Thanks for dropping through yesterday, man. Damn good
man,
discussion.
Have fun, enjoy the sport that I love more than anything. Nothing else I'd rather do in life, you know. So Saturday night I get to live it and do it. So I can't wait.
I know if you could change the results, you'd take wins all the time, right? I mean, you wouldn't have those 4 losses. But I wondered, you take comfort. Your whole career, you said, I want to be the guy that people want to watch fight. Whenever he's fighting, they want to watch fight. 4 losses in a row, you're in a co-main event. Everybody's talking about the fight. They can't wait to see this fight. I mean, do you take any solace in that and saying, yeah, I got these losses, but I'm in a fight that people want to see?
I mean, the losses I've taken are against Gaethje, champion, Tony Ferguson. I mean, the guys I fight are pretty good guys, you know. It's not like
I want to see his fight.
Man, my man here, he probably wants to fight me too. So, you know, he wants to fight.
You're a legend, but I have to smash you guys.
Yeah. So, again, this, you know, it's I don't even know what the fuck you were talking about, but my man.
But Cowboy, let me ask you just one last question. You know, I know you don't watch fights, so you oftentimes you don't know. But yesterday on the media day, it was clear you knew who Nico was.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So I'm interested. How did he catch your attention? What was about him, knowing that you don't really watch fights, that you know this is a guy that's going to be an amazing fight?
Well, he really caught my eye in Florida. We sat next to each other and talked about kids. You know, he's a good dad. So right away, I was like, what a solid date, sir. Yeah. And so I started watching him, and he's a guy that I noticed skill level. No offense. I mean, I feel like, but he finds a way to fucking win no matter what.
I'm a dog. I'm going to get it.
So no matter what you do, the guy just comes, I'm like, man, I fuck with this dude. Like, I like his mentality. So for me, this fight is awesome because no matter what I do, he's gonna be there.
Dude, the show's coming. We're both gonna do it.
That's it.
Coming to get it, baby. We don't blink. Let's go. I'm stoked.
When it comes to Cowboy Cerrone and Nico Price, man, I like both of these cats, man, when it comes to the fight game, because Cowboy Cerrone is a veteran. And though he has several losses, which I'm not going to reiterate, you know, he is a legitimate, respected dude in mixed martial arts. And if you saw him in person, a lot of people would be like, yeah, that's Cowboy Cerrone, man. He a legend in the sport. And, you know, you might say to yourself, if you cross over from boxing, you would say, well, how can he be a legend with all those losses? It's different in mixed martial arts. The mentality is different. You know, the way they treat their fighters as far as, you know, all the work effort that they put into it and all the fights. It's different. And Cowboy's been in there with some of the best there has to be. And he just haven't been able to get, you know, past those tough opponents. I'm talking about the ones that just top tier names that he need this fight, you know, to get the strap. But he's a wild boy. He does extreme sports. He has his own ranch, everything. Nico Price, man, Nico Price is a scrapper, man. You know, he's trying to stay consistent to keep his name relevant. And his last fight with Vincent Luque, the fight was stopped because Luque was popping him in the eye. And it's not like Nico Price stopped. The referee stopped the fight, but you know, Price was still fighting. I like his fighting style. He's tough, grimy. You know, he doesn't mind exchanging, none of that.
And then after that, the guy down at the end, I'll go with him too. Wait,
You
middle.
dog, I'm the wolf, man.
Middle, my bad. I
Dog
couldn't see
with
it.
the wolf. Wolf will eat dogs, brother. You know that?
Wolf? I'm a
Yeah,
wolf.
You say you're a dog.
I'm a hybrid. Hybrid coming next.
Who's got the next question?
What's up, Nico?
Hey, buddy.
Saying that, you know, it's one thing to be fighting a legend like Cowboy, but what is it like to have an endorsement from him? You know, to have him say that.
What I just tell you.
He loves
He
you.
said fighting a legend like Cowboy.
Dude, that's the biggest blessing in the world. That just means I'm doing what I came here to do. I came here to get big fights, put big fights on, and show the crowd that, hey. you
Appreciate
know,
everybody who's stopping through in the chat, man. This is,
Don't blink.
you know, this is a mixed martial arts. I just wanted to touch bases on the press conference.
Spectacular freaking finishes. And I'm not here. I'm not afraid to try. I'm not afraid to put my neck on the line to get it. So
Fight card coming this weekend.
I'm gonna take it, and I will succeed through it.
It's a pretty good fight
For
card.
Cowboy as well. You know, you mentioned just then that this is a fight for you. This is a fun fight. At this stage of your career, I know yesterday on the media day you said retirement's not even in your mind, but at this stage of your career, are you looking for those fights? Are you looking for the fights that are fun for you? Is that what you want most at this point?
Well, they're all fun for me. I'm like the crazy lunatic next to me. I want to fight everybody. You know,
Yeah.
I'm saying, you know, so it's the same thing. It's like they're all fun. They're all good time. But hey, someone asked me, is this my last retirement? I'm like, hell, when Dana tells me I can't walk down the thing with a fucking walker, little tennis balls, that's when I'm done. You know, and they don't let me do it anymore. So until then, I'm gonna keep.
So you heard what he just said. You know, I have to pause that because Cowboy Cerrone is on like a four fight losing streak, but yet he's still, you know, from my understanding, co-headlining, which is crazy. It's crazy because he's had some rough losses. He has some damaging, tough, rugged, beat down, belligerent losses. And he just said until Dana White tells him he can't walk down there. Until Dana White. Could you imagine if boxing was like that? They had one person. He said if Dana White tells him, not the fact that he's on a 4-fight losing streak, he's on a multi-fight losing streak. They still call this man a legend. They still sit up here and ask him about his previous fights. And he's sitting up here telling the people that, you know, he loved all his fights. And like I said, I'm a Cowboy Cerrone fan. But when does it come to a point where you just have to, you know, say, okay, it's time to, you know what I'm saying, just turn to your family and say, this is it. You know, he talks about having, you know, his kids and everything now, but he's not fighting for his kids. He's fighting for him. So for me, I'm like, Cowboy, you've been around so long, man. You gave us some exciting throwdowns. Absolutely. But man, you have to be close to retiring by now. You do, man. Like, damn, dude. You know, you can't get on the win streak. If you don't beat Nico Price this weekend, dude, you need to hang it up.
Keep fighting as often as I can.
Hamzat as well, sort of an interesting dynamic here. You're saying that you don't understand why he's disrespected by you, but then you also say that he shouldn't be a black belt. What exactly about it? Why don't you think he should be a black belt? And are you surprised that you guys have had this sort of rocky back and forth so far?
Hey man, if somebody like white belt they choke you out, how are you gonna be a white black belt? How it's possible? For me, it's not possible because I did hard work for get the blue belt 3 years. Yeah.
Okay, it was important for people like myself, you know, to express. You know, I absolutely love mixed martial arts, especially, you know, the beautiful enigma of BJJ, jiu-jitsu, whatever you want to call it, wherever you train. But Khamzat Chimaev, he made a good point. He did. He made a good point. He said it took him 3 years to get his blue belt. If you don't know how the belt system works, I'm just going to tell you the basic ones, leaving out the black. There's white, blue, purple, brown. All right. Those are the primary belts. In between those belts, the ones that where you learn most of your skill are the blue and the purple. Those are the ones that you homestead in and put in the mat time. And if you compete in jiu-jitsu artists, or you training jiu-jitsu artists, it's definitely a level to that. Definitely levels to that. You can have a black belt BJJ, and he only trains. He or she only trains. And then you can have a black belt BJJ who competes. Different levels. Who do you think is going to be the most dangerous?
How he get that? I imagine, I think like how many years I have to take that this black belt.
And then obviously this is twice now that you've had 2 fights booked back to back. A lot of people are wondering if you could maybe climb the middleweight division and the welterweight division at the same time. Is that something you want to do, or is it just coincidence you've had 2 divisions at once both times?
It doesn't matter. I said yesterday, if my coach said to me, go with the Brock Lesnar, I'm going to go with him. Doesn't matter which way. Outside, they will have to happen something. You're going to say, I come away in you. No, but you're going to go with this guy.
Cool. And last one for me, for Gerald. I know yesterday you spoke about this getting on the media day, but I wanted to just clarify. You said there was a bit of a run-in with Hamzat at the host hotel earlier this week. Can you just explain what happened?
Dry snitching.
Yeah, I couldn't really understand because we're all wearing masks. And he said something about I like talking. I just said, yeah. I wasn't really paying attention when he walked away. He said, apparently my one of my buddies heard him say something about he was going to smash my face. But again, trying to talk trash to somebody while you're wearing masks and walking in a different direction.
Because I say that, I'm going to smash your face. How are you going to stop
I'm
that?
sure you think.
How are you going to stop that, yo?
I'm probably going to beat you up.
Shemaev say, how you going to stop that?
Look at my last fight. No punches, like how many punches are he faced to his face?
Dude, I can
You would have a little bit bigger, but
I can't understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Speak clearly or something. All right. First of all, the whole black belt stuff. A black belt doesn't really matter. It matters what you do. And I'm
But you talk
most
about the
submissions-
pure BJJ, like you like special BJJ guy.
Yeah, because
Don't talk about
most
that. Like, if
submissions.
somebody
with no
joined
individual-
out, like you have to be go train harder, not talk about like I'm jiu-jitsu, I'm better than him. What the fuck is that, man?
I had tied for the most submissions in the weight division. That's what that is. So yeah, I think I deserve a black belt.
We will see who you are.
Did you hear what Shemaev said? He said, we will see where you at. And see, and that's my point in educating myself by stepping into the gym and going to tournaments and everything. You have to know what you're looking at. And Chimaev made a solid point. He said, I am a blue belt. How are you a black? And you're out here, you know, like he can't understand, because there are professors out there that raise their fighters quickly. And there are some who you have to be in their school. You have to be taught underneath them. Every belt has a certain amount of years attached to it minimally before you can get the next belt.
Hey, Cowboy, I'm just wondering how irritated you are that you've been here for years. UFC never double booked you, and now they're double booking this guy right off the bat.
Oh, no, I'm not irritated. I like this son bitch. He's got a good attitude, man. He wants to fight everybody. It's crazy. I like I'll smash him. I'll smash him. I'll smash him. I mean, fuck, with that mindset, you better be out there smashing everybody. So I like it. But no, I don't. My fights, I don't just smash people, so I get beat up sometimes. So I've tried. He's like, man, we got to see how your fight goes, you know. So who knows? But no, I'm not upset. Good, you got it going. So
Did I see you're at in like a merchandise store to the BMF Ranch?
yeah. I'm just I'm building a butcher shop and a store. Sell some shit.
Is that becoming like a tourist destination? You haven't like
No, it's just just doing it just to do it, just so you can go in there and you come over. I'll get you a shirt. You know what I mean?
What are some?
So just the FYI, the BFF Ranch is Cowboy's own property. So he's saying he's gonna, he's opened up a merch shop and he's opened up a butcher. He's gonna sell some shit, a butcher shop. You know what I'm saying? We all know what that's about. But that's probably why he's fighting. Still, I say this: you should have had alternatives lined up a long time ago and options, because you're taking punishment in here, and for them to continue to give you a check just so you can build a merchandise and a butcher shop, it's not cool when it comes to your health. That's all I'm saying.
One of the more You got any other projects that are on the horizon for the BMF ranch?
Other than my racetrack I'm building, no, not really.
How much money do you think
He's building the racetrack too.
All of it. That's why I'm here fighting again, because I need more.
Well, that kind of that cements what I was just saying.
Why this fight is for you, and I think that's a cool way.
Shout out to Camacho in the building.
This is the first time that I think that you've been back in the Apex, back in Las Vegas. Sour taste at all in your mouth from January? Have you completely made peace with that, or are you good, being around here, or have some of those memories from January?
Oh, no, from the asshole project? No, that's you leave that wasn't even in here, the T-Mobile. Right?
Yeah. Some of the media stuff and everything.
Oh yeah, no, it's all, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, no. That's the thing with the sport. You win, you lose, man. You just go out there and that fight sucked. Totally sucked. 40 seconds? Come on, man. Get the fuck out of here. Like, if anyone's upset, it's me, but
no, we was upset for tuning into that shit, Cowboy.
What does this weekend you think mean for you? I mean, obviously you're undefeated in the UFC. You fought some big names, but maybe some guys who weren't completely in the peak of their career. How do you think Johnny compares to the competition level you fought, and what do you think it'll prove if you beat him this weekend?
Well, it proves that I'm where I'm supposed to be. Not
okay. This is Ryan Spann, and he's facing off against Johnny Walker. Ryan Spann, they're hoping and wishing that he stays the course and continue to win. In my opinion, he one of the more boring fighters that's on the rise. Seriously, I have to keep it honest. Johnny Walker, he's one of the more exciting fighters, but he's a bit reckless, loose-ended. And he kind of just throws everything to the wind and executes, reckless technique that places him in a vulnerable position. You know what I'm saying? It's not smart. It's not like he doesn't have cage IQ. It's just he tries to entertain the crowd, but yet he has not perfected what he's trying to do. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to create a He's trying to give the crowd the impression that he can go out here and perform all these high-flying tactics, and that can get the job done. But yet, when he increased this level of competition, he needs to kind of tighten up the defensive aspect of it. If you're going to execute some of these loose-ended tactics, you need to be able to defend what's coming after you do it. And that's what shut down, Johnny Walker, the Corey Andersons that absolutely shut him down. So he's got to work on that. But Ryan Spann, he's not a bad dude, but he's one of the most boringest cats out here.
just a number because there's not many people here. Like, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do.
Any predictions on how the fight will go? Because the guy has switched camps a little bit. So does that make it difficult to sort of prepare what you're going to see in the octagon?
No, that's easy. I win.
That's it. Just win.
I win. That's your prediction right there.
All right. Easy enough. And Dana, obviously great card here, but you did break some major news this morning. Just wanted to ask you to expand on it a little bit. Now that Michael Chandler is officially in the UFC, what are you excited about with him coming over?
Yeah, no, he seems like a good kid. I like him, and he's excited to be.
Before we get on Michael Chandler, salute to Michael Chandler. Mom, I actually ran into him before. You know what I'm saying? Hell of an athlete. I'm just wondering why Johnny Walker just didn't chime in and take his airtime. Because certain people that give interviews, they don't have respect for all the fighters. So, he should have chimed in and, answer that. You don't allow somebody to buck on you and you don't respond right away. I mean, this is what fans tune into. So just don't let this guy get a freebie and you just sit over there chilling. I'm glad you took the color out your hair because you was looking real crazy. But, Johnny Walker's over there with a suit on, look like he's ready. But, it's weird, not weird, but it's crazy that he asked a question about Michael Chandler, who just signed to the UFC, who I'm going to talk about after this is over with. But yeah, Johnny Walker, you don't let him get a freebie on you.
Be here. We're excited to have him.
Pretty big opportunity for him right off the bat for him to go over there and back up that main event.
Yeah, he's been around for a long time, so he wanted it. I'm making fights. We're rolling. We're going. I leave Sunday. We got all this shit going on here. I leave Sunday. Guys that want to fight, and guys that don't. It's all good. Listen, you don't see me chasing down any pound for pound guys, any big superstars or anybody. I'm just looking for guys who want to fight. You want to fight? We got fights for you.
Is there any chance between now and then that Michael could get an opponent, or is he
No,
100%?
he's in for that. If anybody falls out of that fight, he'll fly out there early. He'll acclimate. He'll cut weight. He's getting training camp. He will make weight. He'll go no matter what happens. No matter how it can be midnight the night before and everything can be good. He's getting on the scale the next day because just too much crazy shit has happened, especially this year. I'm not risking anything this year, so he'll be there and go through the whole process
for sure. Does that mean that he's automatically getting the winner, or is this just a backup plan and then we'll figure out what happens?
It's a backup plan. Yeah, we'll go from there.
Okay, that was important to note because a lot of people will be assuming and everything else that goes along with it. But Michael Chandler, he's been a champion in Bellator. He's a very highly skilled athlete who's been in there with the best over in neighbor organization Bellator. He is incredible. He has incredible training footage out there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, unfucking believable. Just take a look at some of the shit he's able to do. Wrestling pedigree, has hands, he definitely has heart. But he's going out to be the backup to the lightweight title that's going on, the lightweight title between Khabib Nurmagomedov and Justin Gaethje. You know what I'm saying? So being that what happened with Gilbert Burns, Dana White is taking that necessary precaution so it won't happen again, so they can have another elite opposition in the shoot. You know what I'm saying? In case this happened. Yes, that's why he's doing this. Last time was Jorge Masvidal, Kamaru Usman. Now we're going to get a backup for Gaethje Nurmagomedov. And what better guy to be a backup than Chandler? He is a real one.
Question for Johnny Walker. Johnny, you moved camps recently to SBG Ireland. When you decided to make the move, what did you want to improve on
the Smo?
Game?
What's up, guys? How are you? I move around to learn, to improve myself, and I'm trying to find the best place to stay. So I think I found a good place. I was in a really good place. I trained with really good coach before in Montreal with Phil Zahabi, is amazing coach, and now in Ireland with John Kavanagh, so amazing coach as well. And I really prepare for this fight. I improve everything that I had. So you're gonna see a new version of Johnny Walker.
Okay. You're a high energy guy. There's no crowds here. Are we gonna see the same high octane guy that stumbles into the pre-fight stuff when you're doing the face-offs? Are you gonna still have that same energy?
Same energy. I'm the same guy. So I know everybody's gonna watch. So I'm gonna fight for them.
Question for Ryan. 8-fight winning streak. You don't have a lot of hype behind your name, but someone like Johnny, your opponent, he's had a lot of hype behind his name when he was coming up. Do you feel a little disrespected at all coming into this fight?
No, that's not.
Hell no, he shouldn't be feel disrespected.
People are looking more at him than what I'm gonna do, and I'll just sneak through the back door and take his mom.
You fought twice on the Contender Series, and you've also fought in Jacksonville with the no crowds. Do you see this as an advantage for you that you've been in this environment multiple times in your fighting career?
Okay, that's the Smo. Once again, I have a picture. I actually ran into the Smo without his glasses on. He couldn't believe I recognized him without his damn shades on at the MGM. But anyway, good questions. I like what the questions he asked. Johnny Walker. I like the Johnny Walker I'm seeing right now. He changed camps. That means he should be very well prepared heading into this fight with Ryan Spann. And to be honest with you, I believe Johnny Walker can beat Ryan Spann if he pushes the pace the right way and keep his distance well. Ryan Spann is no slouch on the ground, but you can dictate the pace with Ryan Spann. He's not the most, in my opinion, entertaining fighter to be as big and gifted as he is with his height and reach. But we'll see what happens, man. Maybe he's getting better and better, but to me, he may be on an 8-fight win streak. But it just seems like he's in the cage and he's contending, and I don't remember him. Like, I don't remember when he steps in the cage because he just don't do anything that makes me raise an eyebrow. You know what I'm saying?
I'm an introvert, so I like this, and no matter what.
Oh, he's an introvert. That proves it.
Not a lot of people, so. And when it comes down to fighting, man, it doesn't matter who's there or who's coming, who's showing up and watching and all that. I don't care. When we're locked in there, it's me, him, and a guy with some pants on. So I don't care.
Question for Gerald. Your opponent, Khamzat, he's never had to fight in round 3 in both the amateur and pro ranks. Is part of the game plan trying to test him into the later rounds in the deep waters and see how far his gas tank can take him?
Hopefully I can finish him before that.
Good question, Smo. Good question, Smo.
Hey, man, I have outside 1 hour, 2 hour fights. It doesn't matter. Brother, three rounds is nothing for me.
And when you got booked with him, what was the first thoughts? Did you know much about G3 going into the fight when you got booked his name, told his name from the boss?
What was the question?
So a little bit of what's going on with this segment is that they double book Khamzat Chimaev. And to an opponent of his, that would be disrespect. The reason why I'm saying that is basically saying we book you for another fight after this very quickly. And that's basically saying if you win this fight or you're going to win this fight, you have another fight booked. That's what they mean by double booking in this instance when it comes to the UFC. And, you know, that's what's going on. You know, the trash talking and everything. And Chimaev is like, he's one of the fast track guys, man. He set the record. He's going to set the record for returning for repeated returns back to the cage in the shortest time.
No, I don't know. I look at the last fight only because they get the knockdown and this guy's finishing. He lost his last fight. I want to beat somebody better than him, but now I'm gonna smash him. Then we take next.
And now you're here fighting in the fight capital of the world, but there's no crowds. I'm sure when you were dreaming,
I know, right? 209.
In your life, you expected the bright light.
I actually had a conversation with the Smo. I mean, I respect the dude. You know what I'm saying? But Helen Yee is a hottie.
I look at all fights.
She's a baddie.
Because Muhammad Ali was fighting. It's more.
But I got respect for the, you know, what they got going on. So
all division, I'm gonna finish here in Las Vegas.
And Nico, anything less than a fight of the night going to be a disappointment for you?
See, he has some good questions, man.
Nico Price. It's gonna be fun. I can't wait to get in there with the true legend, and I'm guaranteed a bonus. It's gonna be good.
Fan favorite.
I'm not backing down. He ain't backing down.
I believe it. I believe it's going to be a good fight between Cowboy Cerrone and Nico Price.
You like Khamzat's attitude. He wants to fight everybody. I was told that he wanted to fight Kevin Holland yesterday, and you were in the middle of that somewhere. What happened there?
Oh, they just had a little disagreement in the hallway. I think I don't know, nothing, but just told him we're fighting on Saturday, man. Don't be crazy. Don't.
I was thinking he was working in the hotel, like clean the room. I said, no, go clean my room. He said, no. And I've been angry, you know.
I mean, Kevin Holland's on.
So Kevin Holland is another fighter, a rising prospect. Okay, making a name for himself. And from what you heard Chimaev just say, he told Holland, a UFC fighter, not to go in his room and clean his room because he thought he was working at the hotel. Now, we can take that any way we feel like. I'd be a kind of perturbed. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? Do I look like I work at the hotel? What gave you that impression? But anyway, you know, Chimaev, man, he comes off as this guy who absolutely isn't pretending. This dude is a special fighter. Real talk. And all that you see, the calmness, man, he's a lunatic, dog.
Your list now as well?
Who is this guy? I don't know this guy. I never seen him before.
Dan, one more, right?
Yeah.
I think people are really looking forward to Tyron and Colby being in the same room at a press conference. Why are they doing media separately today?
People are excited to see him in the same room.
I think they expected, like, when Stipe and DC were here.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Good question.
Yeah. They're not
I mean, why are we doing this?
Same room on Saturday.
So no specific reason why they're not doing a press
No.
conference?
So what we did was I said that I wanted to highlight the undercard. I felt like we hadn't really done that this week, and so we did this press conference, and then that was the way the PR put it together.
Man, please.
Listen, that fight's big. Everybody.
So just in case you turned in, man, you know what I'm saying? I was disappointed myself not to see Colby Covington and Tyron Woodley out here with all the other fighters, man, like it used to be, like it's supposed to be, like we can get all the damn leeway that he gave Conor McGregor to take over a press conference. Now all of a sudden we're in a pandemic and they want to say, oh, we're going to do Woodley in this room and Covington in that room. Man, it's just it extracts from the entertainment that we look forward to in the press conference. That's all I'm saying. I would like to see Colby Covington. We already know what it is. Man, you know he's going to talk shit. You know Tyron Woodley's going to give it back.
Everybody wants to see those two fight on Saturday, and I think we can all guess what's going to be said and what's going to go back and forth. And
no, we can't.
And all of that.
We want to hear it.
I just want to see the fights. Any other questions?
Okay, let me fast forward.
Quando o coach começa a me conhecer para tentar, they keep jumping around. The coach is gonna start to know me, but the next month I'm gonna go to another gym. So when he know me, I have to keep there to keep improve myself. So I want to stop somewhere and be more consistent. Then I'm gonna improve myself. Then I'm gonna get better.
Thank you. We good, guys? I'm gonna square these guys off for photo ops for you guys. Thanks for coming today. We appreciate it.
Rock and roll, baby.
Look how smooth the transition is with the media people. No yelling and screaming. You know what I'm saying? People know their lane and their the task for which they're trying to complete, the breakdown and get it done. Smooth transition that you're seeing with here at the UFC. I'm not being facetious about it. I'm being absolutely, because I've been to so many media events where, you know, those of you that know, you know, it's been there, and sometimes it can be chaotic just from one person. You look at Showtime, man. You know, I'm not gonna mention no names, but this is just the way it's supposed to be, smooth. Every grown adult know what they're supposed to be taking care of, and they get it done. Look how smooth that was. They know that the face-offs are coming. They remove the tables, situate the chairs, you know, reset, and then get these fighters the damn face-off. That's the way it's supposed to be. Very smooth, organized, and in a timely fashion. Salute. That's what's up. Look how easy that was. Quiet. Not all that yelling and screaming. Oh, I get this. You know, people acting like they're talking to a bunch of nursery kids or something. So the face-offs are coming. And, you know, this should be pretty interesting. I'm not sure how far the fighters are going to stand for one another, but I'm curious to see how Hamzat Chimaev face-off is going to be. This is going to be boring. You can guarantee that. I mean, I hope it's more fireworks once they do step in the cage. You know, it's good professionalism. It's good professionalism. You know, it is what it is. Dana, hurry up and put his hand in between. What is an arm supposed to do? Because if any one of them wanted to punch the other, they could. An arm is not going to do anything, Dana. Nico Price and Cowboy, this is going to be friendly, of course. All smiles. You know, that's what I'm talking about. You know, these two guys know they can throw down. They know they got skills. They don't have to sit up here and be all rah-rah about the bullshit. You don't have to let somebody see what's inside of you. You can just give it to them, you know? So therefore, people, unfortunately, let me stop the can. Unfortunately, when it comes down to it, I would have liked to have seen Tyron Woodley and Colby Covington press conference. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna see if I can go back and find it right quick. and I will share screen so you can get an idea of what I'm talking about. I really want to give you kind of like a backstory as to the Colby Covington and Tyron Woodley. They have trained together before. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. So give me a minute. Appreciate everybody who stopped through. We do have a UFC event that's going down this weekend with Tyron Woodley, the former welterweight champion, defended his title 4 times. Colby Covington, you know, he turned heel, became the villain, and he's trying to work himself back into title contention. I believe the presser is out here. Okay. Let me see. Y'all bear with me right quick. Okay, here we go. I got you. I got you, Shouty. I got you. I'm just backing it up. You know, rewind it up to the point where they walk out. I'm there. Pause it. So definitely I will share screen. Okay, here we go. It's coming up. So in first is going to be Tyron Woodley, and then, you know, of course, they're going to kick off the press conference. There go T Wood, Black Lives Matter shirt on, and he wore the red cap.
Sorry, appreciate your time.
Make racism.
Originally, we all thought you and Colby were going to be up there together.
I forgot what that was, but
Find out it's not.
I know he's taking a shot at Colby Covington.
You don't get the chance to face him down, to you know, deal with him, or are you kind of happy you don't have to put up with stuff today?
I'm just excited that Black Lives Matter.
Are you surprised that in the lead up to this fight that he hasn't been more vocal? I mean, this is Colby Covington. He's almost been respectful of you. Is that shocking you at all? That he hasn't gone into you more like he normally does?
You know, I'm just really excited that Black Lives Matter.
Oh my God, man! This is see, I don't like this shit, bro.
Would you keep yourself ready to be a fill-in opponent?
If he gives a third response like that,
wouldn't do that.
I feel feel like, the victory here just really shows how much Black Lives Matter.
Fair enough.
Okay, check this out, people. All right. I don't have a problem with the message that he's putting out there. His hat said, make racism catch the fade again. I understand where Tyron Woodley is going with this because he totally despised Kobe, who, has been around the president and wearing the caps, Make America Great Again and all this other stuff. What I don't like about what he's doing is Tyrone is on a losing streak right now. And I would rather him put more emphasis in bringing back the fans to tune into this, support him. Don't do the Marshawn Lynch. You know what I'm saying? Marshawn Lynch, I get where you coming from with the Black Lives Matter. I get it, bro. And I'm not deterring him from saying whatever he chooses to say. But now you're not even recognizing that you're fighting Kobe Covington. And you're not even, giving us a little bit of how you think. You know what I'm saying? What is on your mind when it comes to your opposition? That's what it is. I don't have no problem with, make racism catch the fade again. That's a slick little phrase right there. You know what I'm saying? He got the red cap on. I get it, man. Sending the message out there. And I can't even knock it. A lot of things has been political lately. So I'm definitely not mad at the message that he's sending because that's what he chose to do. But I just would have rather him just, break out the shell a little bit and give us your thoughts on the upcoming fight and what we should expect. You know what I'm saying? Because he is coming off 2 tough losses, man. One to Kamaru Usman and one to Gilbert Burns. So we definitely want to know what's going on in your head, bro.
One last question for you. Obviously, the Black Lives Matter shirt on. Clearly, you want to keep it in that direction. Today, would you like to use this platform to deliver any messages to everyone out there?
Just say Black Lives Matter.
Hey, Tyron. Is obviously the political movement of Black Lives Matter has taken a lot of momentum over the past few months and even the year. Do you think this fight amplifies to you the need to express your support for that cause?
No, I just think that Black Lives Matter.
Could you tell us when Colby first started talking about you years ago when you were training together? Were you surprised?
Velocity says, seems like Cowboy the most active fighter. He is the most active fighter, man. Look, Cowboys, man. He's a very entertaining fighter to the point where majority of his fights, he came in there and gave you what the hell you wanted. You know what I'm saying? He put it all out there, win or lose. But it does get to a point where you have to think to yourself, like, is it past him being healthy enough to contend with the best? And why should we just see him go ahead and continue to get blitzed? 40 seconds, you saying to yourself, no, he didn't take too much damage. But yet, he said he didn't want to be there. So for the fans, we like, okay, if you don't want to be there all the time, you just stopping in for a paycheck so you can build a racetrack, a merch shop, and a butcher shop. Let me see. Killer, hopefully Woodley breaks that jaw again, but I doubt he wins. This is where Conor is about to end that president's fake champ whole career. I'm not sure. Conor doing what again? I mean, isn't Conor still at? It depends on if Conor can stay out of trouble. But I'm gonna touch bases on that. Real talk. I'm gonna touch bases back on Conor. I'm gonna finish this presser right quick.
Based on your interaction in the gym that you decided.
I get where you're coming from there.
I wasn't surprised, especially since Black Lives Matter.
Okay, I get the point.
Before your last two fights, especially in the Darren Till, the Meyer, and one like Thompson fights, you kind of built your camp around this specific fighter. And now Colby Covington and his coach come out saying that they realize he's not even a southpaw anymore. Which is hinting that he might fight orthodox. I wondered if you heard.
Yeah, I know that, Mike. They never had a good relationship.
Tyron, would you shake Colby Covington's hand if he realized that Black Lives Matter?
Like your style, I definitely realize that Black Lives Matter.
Tyron, is there any
anything specifically from a social standpoint that you would like to? I mean, obviously, you can say Black Lives Matter thing. Is there anything in particular within that subject that you would also like to shine some light on?
He said that subject. Okay, Kobe Covington's up next. His hat says "Keep America Great."
Yeah, my great suit maker, Luigi Girardi out of Miami, made this great suit for money because that's all I'm bringing into this company these days myself.
Listen, I think you've been kind of surprisingly respectful towards Tyron. I mean, obviously a little trash talk, but not the levels we're used to. I'm curious, is this part of Kobe Covington 2.0? Was there something about this matchup that you hadn't kind of gone in on him as much as you have people in the past?
I wouldn't say it like that. I just would say that I got better things to do. I was planning speeches to hang out with the president, attend his rally, and I'm doing bigger things these days. So, I'm not really worried about anything Tyron does. The only thing that I'm going to be worried about is if he tries to rap and then I'm
This is your first fight as Kobe Covington Incorporated, a new team. Talking about the preparation, I mean, I imagine, individualized attention, but also a lot of challenges, right? I mean, you left an accomplished team, accomplished structure, all those things. So have there been any challenges in this new setup that you have, or have you found it pleasant?
I found it very pleasant. Been, very just free, You don't have people that go to a manager and complain to him, and be like, oh, you need to keep this guy out. He said some mean things. This professional cage fighter who gets locked in a cage in his underwear to take people's brain cells. Oh, but he says mean things, kick him out of the gym. If you got complaints, direct them to the head of the complaint department, me at Kobe Covington Incorporated.
Okay, I like that. I like that.
There'd be clearly two fights on the table that everybody would want to see, right? The rematch with Kamaru Usman, I think everybody would be into that, or the grudge match with Masvidal. So if you were able to pick one or the other, if they came to you and said, Kobe, we like your style, we like what you're doing, you make a call. Which fight do you take first?
That's a tough one to ask because both those guys are going to get it. It doesn't matter in which order it goes. It could be Marty Fakenewsman first or Street Judas Masvidal, but they will both get it unless they're both cowards and tuck their heads between their tails and run off. But, those are the only two fights I'm looking for after I end Tyron Woodley's career on Saturday night on ESPN.
Hey, Kobe. I think most people thought that it was going to be you and Tyron up on stage together. When did you find out that wasn't going to be the case?
I thought the same thing. I thought I'd be able to get in his head, get some mind games, see him face to face, look that coward in the eyes after we did the press conference. But I just found out yesterday. They called me. They said, hey, you're going to be just a single. There'll be all the nerds from media that should be at the Comic-Con and Dungeons and Dragons thing. But I found that out yesterday.
Dana said it was because they wanted to highlight the undercard. Do you think that's the truth, or do you think maybe Tyron asked not to engage with you in person?
Yeah, I would think that Tyron has to not engage with me in person. He's doing his little thing. He's trying to copy what I do. He's wearing some hat that says whatever it said, maybe racist fade again. But the only person that's catching the fade is Tyron Woodley on Saturday night. He's the only one that's racist. And the only race there is in this fight is the race to get him out of the UFC.
Hey, okay. I like the one-liners, responses that Kobe is coming with. When it comes to trash talking, I understand, that he has to sell the fight, but once again, I'm disappointed if Tyrone went to that extent. It reminds me of Canelo Alvarez and Gennady Golovkin. It reminds me, it doesn't remind me, but John Jones and Daniel Cormier, they wasn't in separate rooms because they asked and requested it. They was in separate rooms because they damn near would have killed each other. That's real talk. If you go back to the presser where, Daniel Cormier kind of pressed his forehead up against John Jones, wrong move. And John sit up here and went it all out on DC. I don't know if this would have happened with T Wood and Kobe Covington, but you have to understand Kobe has pissed people off, and what's been going on in the world or whatever, he's taken the political approach. He's did fairly decent at at it. You know, he's stood by the president, and you know he's gained more exposure as the bad guy. From my understanding, you know, yeah, he has people, you know, writing his comeback lines, his one-liners or whatever to make the fight interesting. But when it comes down to it, man, Colby Covington, he can fight. Colby Covington can fight. You know, I try to keep it as non-biased as possible. He has solid wrestling. He has solid hands. So we're seeing, you know, Tyron Woodley get dominated by Kamaru Usman. We've seen him pretty much almost get demolished by Gilbert Burns. So if you take Colby Covington, he gives you kind of both of those guys without the BJJ aspect of Gilbert Burns. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he doesn't have the ground game. I'm just saying he has the wrestling. He has the hands, because Gilbert Burns lit up Tyron Woodley in the last fight. And, you know, as you looked at the Kamaru Usman and Colby Covington fight, it was a rock'em sock'em type of fight. Both fighters could have moved their head and used some defense a little bit more, but back to it.
Even before you started being such a kind of time supporter, you were targeting him years ago, saying that you'd been training with him, you could beat him. What did you see in training that made you so confident that you could beat him in a fight?
I just saw that Tyron Woodley was a 10-man and he had no heart. And so
Damn, he called Tyrone a 10-man. He had no heart. Damn.
That's what's going to happen on Saturday night. It's going to be, you know, easy money. I'm going to expose him and take him to the deep end of the pool, and he's going to drown.
I saw a quote from your coach earlier this week saying that you just found out that you're on the southpaw. Is that true?
No, it's definitely not true. I didn't just find out I'm a southpaw. You know, I've been fighting southpaw my whole career, and you know, boxing southpaw for 15 plus years. So, you know, I just choose to put my right leg in the front because that's the way I wrestle, and I feel comfortable with my footwork. I've developed a strong left hand, and I have power in both my hands. So, you know, just like Uncle GLP says, you know, why wouldn't you put your strong hand in the front? Because boxing says that the most effective thing is your jab. So, you know, I feel very comfortable from southpaw, but I can fight from both positions.
Did y'all just hear what he said? I mean, he made a solid point when it comes to the fight game, when it comes to, you know, delegating yourself in the art of war. Did you hear what he just said? He said he fights southpaw stance with your right foot forward because that's the stance he used in wrestling. And also he reflected on, you know, it's best to have your strongest hand forward, which a lot of people don't look at the jab as being your strongest hand. They pretty much, you know, the two is your power hand. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to mixed martial arts, you can switch shit up however you feel like it. And in some cases, boxing does that, but boxing is more so a remediated standing striking game. Mixed martial arts is you can switch stances whenever you feel like it to set up whatever you're trying to accomplish. Whatever your next move in your offensive strategy is, you can do that in mixed martial arts because it has dynamics to it. It has a metric to mixed martial arts. You can do what the fuck you want to do. If you want to do spinning technique, if you feel good throwing this heel kick from this side or throwing this low kick from this side, you can do it. You feel like you get more momentum when you level change and go for the takedown. That's what Kobe's talking about.
Now, so we'll have to see how chaos and unpredictable. You don't know what's going to happen Saturday night.
I know Tyron has sort of minimalized the impact and the stuff behind it, but what did you think when you saw Jorge Masvidal going to train with him?
I thought that was a great game plan for Tyron Woodley to bring a guy who I used to beat up every day so he could learn how to lose to me. You know? The only thing they were game planning was how they would pay their outgoing payments.
Oh, wow. Man.
Just saw you taking a photo with President Trump with fellow UFC fighters. I'm just wondering what that experience is like so close to your fight.
And that was amazing getting to see President Trump again. You know, seen him multiple times now. You know, I know 1% of the people ever get to see him ever in their lifetime. And the fact
I'm gonna fast forward that. Let me see. Okay, that's it. So remove that from the stream. Yeah, people, that's how it is pretty much, you know. So let's get back to what we was talking about earlier. I want to once again show you the fight card. So as you're looking at it, I did a share screen. The UFC Fight Night that's popping up. You know, I will wait for it to translate over to YouTube. I want to kind of give you an idea of how decent this card is. It's absolutely decent to be free, y'all. Real talk. And I hope, you know, all of you that's tuned in now, do me a favor, come back and support World Combat Sports, because there's nobody out here that cover the general sport. I'm talking about, it's some people that cover just mixed martial arts, but who's covering boxing, MMA, that'll break it down for you like this. Don't get it twisted. I'm not just going for, you know, oh, so-and-so did this and they did that. No, I'm going to give you specifics. I'm going to give you the analytics that you're looking for, the physical aspect to the fight game. That's what it's about. Real talk. That's the respect I want you to have when you want to drop through here, and it's mixed martial arts. It's boxing. So for the UFC main card, ESPN Plus, y'all, welterweight main event, Colby Covington, Tyron Woodley. All right, Colby Covington 15-2, Tyron Woodley 19-5. Yes, it is a history of these two. Yes, it is a grudge match, a legitimate grudge match. But real talk, isn't that what the fight game is about? It's about grudge match. It's about, you know, having some type of, you know, release from liking your opponent. You have to have some type of venom. You have to have some type of negative energy or competitive spirit, so to speak, to go after your opponent. But these two has been going at each other for a long time. And we all know Colby Covington went in there, got his jaw broken against Kamaru Usman. I actually enjoyed seeing that fight and the way it played out. Really, I wanted Kamaru Usman to go in here and destroy this cat. You know, I really like people who use their own brand. You know what I'm saying? I believe Colby Covington did what was right for him to stay relevant in UFC. So he turned heel and started making it about politics, because he felt a lot of people were, you know, looking at the presidency in a bad way. So he felt that, why don't I start supporting what a lot of people around here don't like? And that was part of his character and everything, putting on the magna caps and all this and seeing the president and so forth. Tyron Woodley has somehow, I don't know if Hollywood has interfered in his life. I don't know what's going on in his life personally. I'm not going to get into it, even though I do know. I'm not going to get into it. But anyway, this is about the fight game. You heard the message he was passing. Okay, I totally understand it. But in this particular instance, you're the main event, T Wood. You're the main event, big dog. I would have wanted you to just give us a little bit of what Colby gave you. That's all. You wore the cap out there. You know, make racism catch a fade again. And, you know, just made it interesting. But if you are the one who didn't want to be in the same room as Colby Covington, I don't like that, bro. Like, look your enemy in the eye, man. You know, give them FaceTime. Let them know what they in for, man. Win or lose. You know what I'm saying? Don't sit up here and, hey, Dana, I want him in a different room. And you know what? This is not the first time it happened, but in this particular instance, I would have liked to see them both in the same room, you know, trash talking one another. On to the co-main. Welterweight co-main, rather. You have Cowboy Cerrone. Now, like I said before, people, Cowboy Cerrone is 36-15. 36-15, y'all. Nico Price, his opponent, is 14-4. He's coming off a stoppage against Vicente Luque. And Cowboy Cerrone, we all know he's coming. He returned off that 40-second loss to Cowboy, and he came in and earned another victory. I mean, no, he lost. What am I talking about? But he has 15 losses, man. You know, when it comes down to it, Cowboy Cerrone has to know when to hang it up sometime or another. I know you look at your kids and they done change your life, how special they are, you know, to finally have, your own children on deck, spending your whole career, just you and your girl, doing what you wanted to do, living your freedom. And now you have kids on deck. I get it. But Nico is absolutely a dog. And he's going to be giving Cowboy Cerrone some problems. Seriously. Nico is that guy. It's a solid matchup for Cowboy, and I just can't wait to see it. I got to go with Nico in this. And definitely I'm going with Nico, even though I like Cowboy Cerrone more than I'm growing on with Nico Price. I just have to give Nico Price the edge because of where he's at this point in his career. He can fight. Nico Price not only can fight, he's exciting to watch. Gerald versus Hamzat. Hamzat is one of these guys who reminds you of a taller, more well-rounded Khabib Nurmagomedov. I'm not comparing them because they both look alike, sound alike, and they have that kind of stature between them. But Chimaev can fight, man. This dude is a very, very dangerous, lethal striker. And it's going to take somebody with the right skill set to break him down and make him respect him. This is the same guy who was stopped from entering Ireland because he went there to put hands on Conor McGregor for disrespecting Khabib and their religion. Yes, it is absolutely a fact. This guy flew in and he definitely tried to get into Ireland and he was going to put hands on Khabib. Gerald, he's 31-13. He's somewhat like a Cowboy Cerrone. He's becoming like a gatekeeper, a journeyman, and he has his hands full. That's all I'm going to say about that. Tune in for the fight. I have Chimaev winning this fight, and it may be via stoppage or submission. And you know why I say submission? Because he said he was a blue belt. Gerald's a black belt. And he was talking about the amount of submissions he had in middleweight. But when it comes down to that challenge being laid out to somebody like Chimaev, he's going to test that shit. He's going to say, prove that you're a fucking black belt. It's going to come a point in time, he'll probably get old boy on the ground. And he say, okay, let's grapple. Let's go. Let's go. You're a black belt, right? You don't want to get fucked up by a blue belt, do you? You get my point. Next, light heavyweight Johnny Walker, 17-5, Ryan Spann, 18-5. Both have leveled out defeats amongst one another. Just one more in the win division by Ryan Spann with 18. Like I said before, Johnny Walker is an entertaining fighter. Ryan Spann is very, he's the basic mixed martial artist. He has skills, but he doesn't do anything grand. For you to say, damn, I never seen too many fighters do what he's doing. Like Ryan Spann has some huge legs. He's tall. You would think he would have, apply that to his kicks. You know what I'm saying? It seems like he'll be a bit more active with closing the distance and working with his wrestling. He does has wrestling. You know what I'm saying? Johnny Walker's definitely going to have to watch out for that. But Johnny Walker, one thing I can say in this fight, if Spann give him that elevator energy, that doctor's office waiting on an appointment energy, Johnny Walker may well, cruise to a 3-round, decision victory. You know what I'm saying? I've seen Spann hurt before. Can Johnny Walker do it? I don't know. Sometimes Johnny Walker puzzles me too. He seems like he has this mad, sporadic type of skill set. He's willing to take risks, but he doesn't have a backup plan. And that's where he gets fucked over. Seriously. Women's strawweight division. Mackenzie Dern, she had the hype behind her coming over to the UFC. She had some big hype coming over. BJJ world champion. 27 years old to Randa Marcos, 35. Both women level out the same. They're fighting in the strawweight division, which is the 15-pounders, 115-pounders. And the reach is just about the same. You know what I'm saying? Nothing special. But Mackenzie Dern's BJJ game is high level, world class. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's absolutely world class. But her hands, she needs help. That's one thing about Ronda Rousey. She was high level judo, Olympic level judo practitioner, competitor, athlete. But her boxing sucked. And what happened when she ran in there with the 18-time world champion in Holly Holmes? She made a miss. She ended up setting her up the right way with the punches, and then she ended up cutting the lights out with that left high kick. Mackenzie Dern is going to have some of those same problems. Is it going to be against Randa Marcos? I don't think so. Marcos has 10 victories, 9 defeats, and 1 draw. I don't think she's going to be the one to do it, but she is a tough fighter. She's a good matchup for Mackenzie Dern because she's not too much for Dern. She's just enough, and Dern still has to go in there and make it a interesting fight. And once Mackenzie is able to get in on you and put a body lock, she gets you on the canvas. She gets the takedown. It's going to be a problem unless that fighter has pretty good takedown defense, or she has pretty good defense on the ground against a high-level BJJ practitioner and world-class athlete as Mackenzie Dern. We'll see how it plays out. But I would hope Dern is in the gym with a boxing coach and working on her hands. Seriously. Gilbert Burns, he is also a high-level BJJ athlete, world champion, and he's been in there with Coach Santos working on his boxing, and you can tell. And last, Darren Stewart, 12-5 against Kevin Holland, 18-5. Both of these fighters are pretty much even in their records. It's going to be a good fight. Kevin Holland, it's a lot behind this dude. It's a lot. And then also Darren Stewart, he's trying to, make his name known, and what better night to do it? If he goes in there and defeat Kevin Holland, then guess what? He takes the slot. You know what I'm saying? Both of these guys are trying to make their name relevant with increasing their competitions every time they step into the cage. And that's what Darren Stewart and Kevin Holland is trying to do. Still, pretty fresh in the game when it comes to the UFC, but they do have mixed martial arts experience. That's real talk. Ace Boogie in the building. Salute to you. So that's where we at, people. The UFC Fight Night. Make sure you stop through, World Combat Sports, so I can give you the analytics, the breakdown of the fights as it plays out. And when I provide these fight cards, I really try to give a backstory to how the process actually led up to this point. You know what I'm saying? I want to give you a little bit of history of the fighters themselves. So hopefully I was able to do that in short form today, dealing with the Colby Covington and Tyron Woodley. It's a pretty decent card, y'all. When it comes down to it, this is absolutely a decent card. I feel some type of way about this card. I like it. But make no mistake about it. Hold up. Make no mistake about it. Pull up your calendars and go and put the date, put all the information in there. Be sure to tune in next weekend. That's when one of the biggest fights of the undefeated middleweight is going to take place between Israel Adesanya and Paulo Costa. That's when it's all going down, y'all. Real talk. Actually, this card right here, in my opinion, might be a little bit better than the PPV. I'm just saying. So as I was saying, this is going to make for a very good matchup. And what I want you to do is, make sure you tune in if, it's going to be between boxing and mixed martial arts, of course. Jerome Ennis back in the stable, back in the square. He's facing Juan Carlos Abreu, which is going to be a good fight. There's a lot going on with Jerome Ennis. I know a lot of people are pretty much, waiting on him to start stepping up and facing better competition. But I'm gonna drop this jewel on you. And it was one of those deals where I said the same thing. I said I look forward to him facing better competition. You know what I'm saying? The reason why, because it's fact. The guy he fought last time, I just felt, even though he did finish him early, it could have been a lot earlier in a sense, but sometimes these guys have hard heads and they can go in here and make it a fight longer than what we expect. But check this out. Jerome Ennis is been involved in a lawsuit, with Victory Boxing Promotions for quite some time. It's public record. It's nothing that I'm making up. So if you're wondering why he isn't on a steady schedule all the time, that's the reason. That's the reason. You have Chris Menendorf. He is the same guy who Terrence Crawford, a percentage of Terrence Crawford's purse go to also. It's one of the darker spots in boxing. And that's why you have to pay attention to the ones who actually understand how the contractual process works, because at one given time, something can seem very well presented. You know what I'm saying? It can seem good. It can seem delightful to the eyes and ears. And according to, if you have the right people around you, they're telling you, okay, go ahead, make this happen, this, that, and the other. But you also have some people that's been in boxing for quite some time, and they know how to put somebody in a trap, a bear trap. They know how to keep you there. All you have to do is put that signature on there and make it a binding agreement. That's all you have to do. And this particular individual is tied to two people that's been spoken on. He has more people, but I'm gonna link you up with two people: Jerome Ennis and Bud Crawford. Chris Menendorf is linked to Terrence Bud Crawford and Jerome Ennis. Now, of course, I'm not going to get into all the legality aspects of it and all that, but they had a binding contract for which Jerome Ennis felt that, outside of the scope of his best interest, things was going on that he didn't appreciate. And he didn't co-sign, he didn't accept. Pretty much when you're in that particular situation, sometimes people feel they can make those arrangements for you. They can handle your business and they don't have to consult you while they're making those business decisions. That's the fucked up part about not having a strong team. That's one of the aspects on what I can appreciate, if this is the case with Gary Russell, that they're paying attention to the contract or whatever. But there's a lot of shit that's going on with that. I know it. But what I'm trying to say is the reason why you haven't seen Jerome Ennis much of a regularity as you would want is because he cannot basically have a fight 4 times a year unless Menendorf approves it. He has to approve the matchup. He has to approve the fight. Yes, absolutely. He has to approve it. He has to approve the fight. And that's fucked up because, this is what you're doing for a living. This is something that you're training your ass off for. This is what a lot of people are talking about. They want to see Boots, him step in the ring in his next fight, but behind the scenes, hey, he's locked in. And hopefully this lawsuit ends pretty soon. But that's what's going on with Jerome Ennis, man. He cannot fight on the regularity of what you would want him to do. He's not, putting down 4 fights a year, moving up the damn ladder. His fights has to be approved from a third entity. someone who he was signed to and still is signed to until the lawsuit is over. And if that lawsuit comes back and it's something to the fact where there's no way that he can release himself out of it, like a Mikey Garcia did with Top Rank, he spent over $1 million in litigation fees to free himself, or pretty much Floyd Mayweather. He went through the same process, which has some very riveting twists and turns to him getting out of that contract. He had to come up with some money, of course. But in this particular case, this guy, Chris Menendorf, he is tied to one of the names that you all know, Terrence Crawford, and he's tied to Jerome Ennis. Jerome Ennis appreciated, how Terrence Crawford was being moved and so forth back then, and he felt the need to want to join the train. But inside the train, the direction he started to learn about certain things, and when he started to, go in that direction, when he was along for the ride, he started to learn some things, which is what's supposed to happen initially. But you can't find out everything. You can't find out everything, but at least you can have people that's on your team to kind of help you understand. You know what I'm saying? That's why you need to READ. And whatever you cannot interpret, you need to find the right legal team or the right legal assistants for them to break it down to you. And they themselves have to be loyal. They have to be held accountable so they're not fucking you over. Because if you think that doesn't happen too, that happens also. It's a dirty fucking game. So shout out to Jerome Ennis, man. I know, you have a lot going on behind the scenes when it comes to the business aspect, dealing with Victory Boxing Promotions and how long you've been tied down to it, and dealing with Chris Menendorf and being in an ongoing lawsuit. I'm just putting a little sprinkle out there, not too much, because I'm looking forward to seeing him face Juan Carlos Abreu. This is going to be a tough opponent. Abreu never been stopped before. So you can best believe Boots is going to try to go in there and shut him down. I'm talking about via stoppage. If he doesn't get the stoppage, I'm pretty sure he wants to get the win, and that's what it is, people. That's what it is. That's what it is. He wants to get in there and have a solid performance so they can start considering him for a bigger fight. But not forgetting the fact that he has other things going on now. I mean, not now, but he does have another situation going on. And you will be amazed to the general public, the temporaries that follow boxing. Not too many people know that. They just look at the surface and say, well, why he ain't fighting this person? He fighting this soft touch, that soft touch. That's because legally he has to get approval for the fights. He has to get approval. And man, when somebody else has that type of control over a percentage of your career, it just sucks, man. And I don't know how long or how deep he's tied in to Chris Menendorf contractually, but right now, when it comes to Jerome Ennis, Menendorf's name is going to be attached to the representation of this fighter. You can guarantee it. Menendorf is going to be in there. It's no way fucking around it. No way around it. It's unfortunate. But y'all be sure to tune in this weekend with this card, UFC Fight Night. And it should be fairly interesting. Tyron Woodley, he didn't say too much. He just spoke on Black Lives Matter and so forth. From my understanding, he has been going through some issues in his personal life. And Jorge Masvidal, they have linked up together. And from my understanding, Jorge has kind of, allowed Tyrone to link up and confide in and get him back mentally into the game the way he's supposed to, and not worry about certain things and so forth. Yes, a lot more that I do know, but it's not about that. I just don't get in people's personal life like that, because when it comes down to it, we all are imperfect, and that's just the way it is, people. This is where Conor's about to end the president's fake champ whole career. That would be a good fight between Conor McGregor. I'm getting to the live chat now. That would be a good fight between Conor McGregor. You know, if by chance he could fight Colby Covington. I'd like to see that. But make no mistake about it, Colby Covington can box. He can box, y'all. He's a pretty decent all-around fighter, y'all. It's gonna matter if what game plan he has for Conor. We all know Conor has suspect cardio. We know that. And when it comes down to it, he's a counterpuncher. He tries to land that, you know, that left hand all the time. Plus, he has, you know, legal issues going on, which his camp says not true. You know, it's just fake allegations. People trying to make a buck off of Conor. You know, I don't know what's going on with Conor McGregor. I don't know if you heard, but of course, I give you a little bit right here. Conor McGregor is supposedly retired from the sport. Okay, so for those of you that may not understand, right? The man is supposedly officially retired. All right. The same man that went over there and fought Floyd Mayweather and made over 100 million. Genius, right? So he's out here and he's out of town in a different country. And he's doing some charity event where, you know, on the boats that they drive around and do something. I'm not too sure on the aspect of it, but he was out on the boat doing what rich people do. And do you know USADA, the doping partner of the UFC, showed up? They showed up and tested Conor McGregor while he was on the boat. USADA reconned, showed up and tested Conor McGregor on the boat. Now, if that isn't a telltale sign that somebody on your ass, I don't know what it is. USADA tried to catch Conor McGregor slipping, and he's supposed to be retired. But you can say you're retired, but if you're still in the testing pool, that means you can get a fight. You know what I'm saying? So Conor must still be in the testing pool for him to get a fight. Anyway, that was hilarious, man. No Kobe and his boss White. Okay, no Kobe Covington and his boss White. Well, you know, Dana White has had his share of controversy too, man. You know, with the situation with Conor McGregor and Khabib, he promoted the situation that happened with Conor tossing the dolly in and all that. He's just doing some questionable stuff, but that's the president. I still like how he do business. He's been the game. You know, you got to have a little bit of controversy behind you to be in a position like he is. It's a lot of decisions that Dana White has to make. I get where he's coming from. He's doing a damn good job, in my opinion, putting these fight cards together. Michael said, remember Dana White dragged him through mud on him. Absolutely. Dana White and Tyron Woodley has a history where they do not like each other, period. And also Dana White, it just seems like he never had anything good to say about Tyron Woodley. You know, he has made reference that, you know, his fights wasn't interesting. You know what I'm saying? So he kind of put it out there like to always kind of throw jabs at Tyron Woodley. And Woodley was like, motherfucker, I'm gonna get tired of you talking shit. You know, but what can Tyron Woodley do? You know, it was good when he was champion. It was good, but that has since passed away. Four defenses passed, and now he's trying to fight just to stay relevant in the organization. And once again, I must say to you, you need to keep it fair across the board. There are people who have double, triple, quadruple the amount of losses that Tyron Woodley has and still fighting in the UFC. So don't start talking about, oh, Tyron should retire, this, that, and the other. Come on, bro. Don't do that. He has a ways to go to catch up to them guys. He better knock dude out. I don't know if he has to knock old boy out. You know what I'm saying? It would be good if Tyron can go in there and knock out Colby Covington. But when it comes to boxing skills, of course, Colby has better boxing skills than Tyron Woodley, in my opinion. Power-wise, I would say Tyron Woodley. Wrestling is yet to be seen. You know what I'm saying? It's yet to be seen. Because wrestling-wise, Kobe can wrestle. Kamaru Usman can wrestle. Tyron Woodley can wrestle. But what happens when you have wrestling pedigrees? They negate one another, and it ends up as a striking game. It ends up somewhat, not so much a boxing back and forth exchanges, but yeah, you get the combinations with the hands and the feet. You know what I'm saying? No takedowns. You know, you still get the movement every now and then, maybe some clinches periodically. But when it comes down to it, those smart individuals that understand what that consists of, they're not going to waste fucking energy getting in close trying to take down someone who's had pretty decent wrestling, you know, in their lifetime. They already know what the hips are like. They're not going to sit up there and exhaust all that energy and try to fight to get that fight on the ground, knowing that their base is pretty solid. I'm just saying. But I'm hyped. I'm hyped to know it's on the way. I'm hyped. And let me get to this before we PBC is back in the building. So I'm going to two different press releases, okay? That's why I'm bringing up some stuff for you. All right? September 19th, Hefe Jagba versus Johnny Rice is going down at the MGM Grand. You haven't heard a lot of people talk about it. You know, Jagba, of course, has changed. Did you just hear me say Showtime? I haven't got the Showtime. But Jagba changed, and now he's with Top Rank. He probably feels that, you know, they can take his career in a better direction than he was hoping for professionally. You know, fighters make changes. And for him, kudos to him for being able to make that change and not be tied down like some fighters. You know what I'm saying? So on the heavyweight, the main event is going to be F.A. Jagba against Johnny Rice. And then in the co-feature is going to be Jose Pedraza against Javier Molina. Junior welterweight main event in Las Vegas. Also on the undercard, you're going to have 17-year-old top-ranked prospect Antonio Leonard. Promoted by Antonio Leonard Promotions. Welterweights Jai Tucker and Kazir Mazi. That's going to be a good fight. Looking forward to that fight. So it's going to be an action-packed weekend with a lot of fights is going on. The good thing about it, they're all free. You know why? I mean, because next week shit ain't going to be free. You know, but when it comes down to this fight card, it's okay. It's boxing. You know, a lot of people fuck with a Jagba. Good dude. You know, they was touting him to be the next big heavyweight star with the power and stuff like that. He still has a ways to go. He still has some polish up some areas. But that is a top rank affair, y'all. All right. Tomorrow night at 7:30. And I did post this, or I will post this on my my Facebook and my IG. But yeah, this is going down. September 19th. So let me get back to where I was before. If you didn't see the interview earlier today, Punch Drunk did an interview with Jerome Ennis. Go check out that interview over there on his channel. He did an interview with Jerome Ennis, man. And I salute Jerome Ennis for even stopping through. You know what I'm saying? Knowing he got a fight coming up. So go check out that interview, man, on Punch Drunk channel. Salute to him. I appreciate what you're doing out here, man, for the sport of boxing. And, you know, let me try to pull up. Hold on for a second. I want to. Just give me a minute. Here we go. So, Terrell Goucher versus Erickson Lubin, super welterweight, 12 rounds at the Mohegan Sun. And this is a Showtime boxing. You know, this is Showtime boxing right here, September 19th. This is like the trifecta that's going on. You have the UFC Fight Night. You also have the Top Rank that's popping off. And also you have this particular fight card is Showtime, with the main event being Goucher and Lubin fighting 12 rounds, which is going to be a good fight. It's going to be a good fight, man. Nambayar is going in against Ramirez. That's going to be a featherweight 12-round fight. Yeah, I mean it's not a real heavy. It's not an ankle weight card, you know what I'm saying? But it's boxing. So it's according to what you're going to tune into. A lot of people will say, I want to see Hefe and Jogba, but you got to tune in to Goucher and Lubin. You got to tune in to see this. It's going to be a good one. You got to tune in, man, for Showtime. Tune in for Top Rank. Whatever you're going to do, I would definitely be paying attention to what I went over today. It will be a boxing mixed martial arts affair. I just don't know how it's all going to play out as far as the interest goes, or what my interest is going to be in covering what card. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't tell you. You know, I think overall the UFC card trumps all the boxing cards on this particular weekend. Hands down. It trumps them. It trumps them, period. Anybody say anything different, you ain't making sense. If you really follow both sports, the UFC card trumps both of these boxing cards. Seriously. And take nothing away from Lubin and Goucher. I mean, they take nothing away from F.A. Jogba. But, you know, that's fact. That's fact. Real talk. Tyron Woodley and Colby Covington will garner more interest than both of these fight cards because of what's at stake. Both of these fighters, yeah, they're coming off losses, but I'm telling you, the crazy aspect of mixed martial arts, you can come off losses and have multiple losses, and you still are popular. You still want to be seen by the public. But in boxing, not too much. Boxing will be like, man, that motherfucker bum, dog. This, that, and the other. They'll ride a motherfucker off. But in mixed martial arts, people tune in to see if there's difference. You know, because it deals with multi-levels of skills. So every opponent is different. You know what I'm saying? Boxing, you have a stand-up game. You know what I'm saying? You have to put that logical dynamic together. Boxing is a stand-up game, and you can use your fist, your movement, footwork. In mixed martial arts, you might see one loss over here, and then that same person who just lost get another opponent that matches up different to their overall skill set, and they might go in there and win. And that person may have a better record than the guy who just lost and go in there and take his first L. That's mixed martial arts, man. That is the riddle of mixed martial arts when it comes down to it. And the names that's on that card, yeah, people are gonna be tuned in for Cerrone, Woodley, Colby Covington. And you need to look out for your boy, World Combat Sports. You need to look out so we can get this review, so we can get the analytics down. You know what I'm saying? So we can talk about the round for round breakdown. Yeah, because I pretty much understand what I'm looking at. All right. Don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. I want to have some people over here. I want to have some people over here that's looking at it also and give their opinion of the fight game too. At the end of the day, it is the fight game, people. I'm all about getting educated. Seriously. If you have stopped learning in life, then hey, that's your problem. I never wanted to get to a point where I'm stopped learning this game right here. You know, whether somebody teach you something you didn't know, or you going out here doing the research on your own. But either way it goes, you're learning. And y'all be sure to stop through, man. Show your support. It will be going down tomorrow. I mean, this weekend. It will be going down. Weigh-ins are going to be tomorrow. I'm definitely going to try to have the weigh-ins on here. No live stream it. Just so we can see it, because you know, Cerrone Woodley and Colby Covington, they're going to have to be in the same room tomorrow. You know, if by chance Cerrone Woodley made a big deal about Colby Covington not being in the same room, I think it's petty. Seriously, I think that's petty. I mean, what have you came to? Like, why switch up now that you have a couple of losses in a row? It's not the first time you lost, but come on, man. You don't want Colby in the same room, and you're gonna say, "Oh, I'll smash him." No, you smash him in the cage. Fuck everything else you heard. Smash this dude in the cage. Don't sit up there and make threats, phantom threats. The Dana White said, "If I see that motherfucker in the room, I'm gonna goddamn bust his." What you gonna do when you actually gloved up and you get to the cage and the fight is called to action? Bing. Now what? It's the same scenario. You're locked in the cage with him, smashing. Don't get up here and say, "Oh, he in the same room in the press conference. It ain't gonna go well for him." Well, guess what? This weekend, y'all are gonna have to step in the cage, Cerrone, and let's get it done. I want you to go in there and beat Colby. Seriously, I'm not really a fan of Colby. I'm rooting for you there, T Wood. You know what I'm saying? I'm rooting for you, big dog. I'm rooting for you. I hope you get it together. I hope you had a damn good training camp. I know you've been working with Jorge Masvidal, who also used to be a training partner and be in the same gym, the umbrella of Colby Covington. So I'm pretty sure, hopefully, he's told you some secrets about Colby. But at the end of the day, you're going to have to step in there yourself and apply your own fight strategy, homeboy. That's what it's going to come down to. That's what it's going to come down to, people. And if I didn't mention it before, there was a Deontay Wilder sighting. You know what I'm saying? There was a Deontay Wilder sighting, y'all. He took a picture with a fan. Deontay is well. He look in shape as always down in Miami. I know he's enjoying this the sunshine and the radiation, but he is in good spirits. You know, he popped up, took a picture with a fan. You know, the champ is in training, y'all. And lastly, Teofimo Lopez, Vasily Lomachenko. I'm gonna continue to touch on this because the fight's right around the corner. You want to know something about that fight, y'all, that I like, that even proves my point a little bit more, is that it's no rematch clause in that fight, y'all. It is no rematch clause in Vasily Lomachenko Teofimo's fight. I like it. I like it. It was back and forth about, is it going to be a rematch clause? Is Lomachenko going to come back around and, fight again? Would he want to take himself through that? Let me take you to what they said. Let me take you to an article. Lopez confirmed during a recent appearance on the Zone XM, Sirius XM, there is not a rematch clause in the contracts for their lightweight title unification. Once again, I repeat, there's not a rematch clause in the contracts of their lightweight title unification. You don't know how this warms my heart. This absolutely warms my heart that they're going to go in there and do a one. They're going to catch the fade. That's it. On about your business, on to the next. Because I definitely want to see the next fight. I want to see the winner step in there with Devin Haney. Period. Point blank. Period. So being that there's no rematch clause, I always like thinking ahead. It's good. I hope it's some prior planning behind the scenes to make this work out. It's good, y'all. Seriously. I really hope this sets up Devin Haney after his next fight to go in here and get the winner of this fight with no rematch clause. I like it. Lopez said there ain't no rematch clause. And I know why, Lopez said. But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Lopez said there ain't no rematch clause. And I know why, Lopez said. But it is what it is. Lopez didn't elaborate on why there isn't a rematch clause in their contracts. If Lopez upsets the favorite Lomachenko, the IBF 35-pounder champion will focus on facing someone other than the 3-division champion in his following fight. Good news, good news, good news. Get your popcorn. Good news. That don't mean it's going to be Haney. It can be anybody. But let this be known, Gordo. If you indeed win, and I'm going for you, I'm rooting for you to defeat Vasily Lomachenko. If indeed you are the unified champion and you do not face Devin Haney, you are a Duck Master Platinum. Absolutely a Duck Master Platinum edition. You will always have that sitting on your shoulder, just like the good and the bad. They will always say, well, look over there on your right shoulder there, Mr. Lopez. We just like to ask you, you talk about being undisputed so much after your win over Vasily Lomachenko, but we just have a little bit of that we want to talk about. Just a little bit. What do you mean? Where we at right now? We just want to talk about why you just couldn't go over there. You know what I'm saying? Just go over here and fight WBC world champion. That's all we want to know. Just tell us, T.O. Why couldn't you just make that turn and say, hey, let's do it. We've seen what happened with the promotion between Haney and Ruff. Let's do it. Could you imagine? Could you imagine us going through the process again for Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney and going through the interviews and stuff on? It would be amazing for boxing. It would be good for social media, new media. It would be absolutely outstanding, man. Seriously, it would be outstanding. It will draw in so many other boxing fans to get used to it. And you know, it would be great for the sport to promote this fight. Am I thinking ahead? Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm thinking ahead. In a positive light, of course. But when you think about it, it just illuminates everything that's good about if it was that easy. You know, if we was provided the space for this to happen again. So can you imagine, Teofimo winning the belts and, him saying, yeah, I'm undisputed. And then somebody like Jim Gray get up there and say, well, hold up there, Teofimo. Just hold up for a second, Teo. Congratulations on your win and everything that you've been able to accomplish in such a short period of time there, Teofimo. But, I just have to ask you this one question that everybody wants to know. You are indeed, the unified champion. And Teo might respond, but I'm the undisputed champion. And then his dad come in, he's the undisputed. Don't try to take away his glory. And then Jim Gray be like, no, I'm not taking away his glory. I'm just telling you from what I've experienced over, my years at this job is that people are still going to be talking about if you move up to 40 and you don't face Devin Haney, they're going to be talking. They're going to be talking in a way that you may not like it. They're going to be talking in a way that they're going to say, well, Jim Gray, why don't you ask this question? Why don't you ask him the question? Be sure to ask him that question about legitimizing his undisputed label by facing the last remaining world champion in the division. It's only right, you know what I'm saying, within your principles as being a champion and the time that you've been able to accomplish it. Do you feel this is a fight that needs to happen before you move up to 140? And Jim Gray sticks the mic in his face. What do you have to say about that, Teofimo? Well, I'm gonna get with my team and everybody. I'm gonna get my team and everybody. If this is a fight people want to see, then we'll be able to make it. I think I put out there already on one of the platforms that if people doubt that I'm truly the undisputed champion, then I'll fight, a Devin Haney. I'll fight him. And then his dad might get up there and say, well, Teofimo, Devin Haney, he didn't really win the title. But come on, you can say what you want. He is the champion. You fought a guy who never fought for the franchise belt. You yourself can lay claim as fighting respectfully for the franchise belt, Teofimo. So you have the energy in your court to say you fought a guy like Lomachenko who did not ever fight for the franchise belt. It was given to him. So you cannot sit up here and excoriate Devin Haney for getting his belt the way he did. You can't do it. So how do you make everything right there, Teo? If you are the winner, which I'm hoping you are, my money's on you, you would do what is right and turn back around and just take your career to a whole nother stratosphere. And you know how you do that? You face Devin Haney, point blank, square it up, frame it. That's what you have to do. You have to fight him. You have to fight him. You have to fight him, Teo, 3 times. You have to make the fight. If you fight anybody else in the lightweight division and it's not Devin Haney, you will be absolutely crucified. Believe it. And I like you, Teo. I like you, bro. I like what you're doing in the sport of boxing. I like that you've been able to become champion 15. I like everything that you going on to do in your career. Probably be an easy minimal 4 division champion. Easy. Before it's all said and done, 45 division. Easy. But when it comes down to being in the hottest division right now, which is lightweight division, this unification bout is what we need for the sport. But also, your job isn't complete. In more cases than none, your job would have been complete if Vasily Lomachenko would have kept the WBC belt. Your job would have been complete. You know why? Because if he would have turned down and not requested the WBC belt and been able to still somehow, some way get this unification undisputed with you, then you can lay claim and say, you know what? Fuck it. I'm the undisputed champion. I'm going to 140. I have all the belts. I mean, Lomachenko would have had the WBC, WBA, and WBO. All he needed was your belt, but he took the easy way out And now we have to go with the rigmarole and round and this, that, and the other, man, instead of going straight forward and make this shit happen the right way. Now it's more obligation on you, Teofimo. It's more so your obligation. And I'm rooting for you to go ahead and smash Lomachenko. Hands down, point blank, period. I want you to defeat Lomachenko. I want you to put Lomachenko to bed. To bed. No bedtime story. Put him to bed with this right here. Put him, that right there. Solid. Put him to bed with that right there, Lomachenko. Put him to bed. Yeah, Lomachenko, yeah. I want you to go night-night, Lomachenko. And I hope he goes in there and gives you the business like he did Richard Comey. I'm not going to lie to you. So therefore, we know we're going to get somebody that's going to turn back around and fight Devin Haney before he moves up, potentially. And we need for Teofimo to do that. If you don't do it, once again, it will haunt you for the rest of your career. People may sit up here and joke with you about it. They may goddamn just, have light banter and tell you all this bullshit that you want to hear. But I'm telling you point blank, you see how certain individuals go through boxing, and every time the name pop up, one fighter is attached to their name all the fucking time. Whenever Crawford is spoken on, Gamboa name is mentioned. You know what I'm saying? They're going to mention Mean Machine. You know what I'm saying? Every time Errol Spence name, they're going to mention Kell Brook. They're going to mention Spence. Gary Russell. They're going to mention Vasily Lomachenko. But you don't want them every time Teofimo Lopez's name come up. You do not want them mentioning Devin Haney. No. I'm keeping 100 with you, T.O. I don't know if you've been seeing, Bill going around here making his rounds on social media, but you don't want that. You don't want that energy. Do you actually, if you win and you have the opportunity, do you really want that energy? All the support he's been able to gather out here in this social media. Do you really believe that you would want to go through that? When you have the belts and you know in your core, in your heart, this is what I need to do. Please, let me do what's right. Let me get with my people and let's try to make this fight. If you do not, you're going to go up to 140, people going to be talking about 35. It might force you to turn back, make a U-turn, but it's going to be too late. You can't do it. You go up to 47, they still going to be talking 35. You're going to run into some opponents. You're going to have some other rivalries in your career, and they're already going to say, you know what? How did y'all give that man so much power? Vasily Lomachenko ducked him. You ducked him too. Damn. And you didn't feel some type of way about that? Come on, do what's right. That's all I'm going to say about it. I'm done talking about it. I'm done talking about it. You're going to have to do what's right, T.O., man. I got mad love for you, bro. You and your family. Respect to y'all. But I'm seeing your articles. I'm seeing what you have to say. The lightweight division is the hottest division out here right now, hands down, period. And, as boxing fans, we want to see a unification. Not only that, we want to see an undisputed. And it just seems like all the other divisions are fucking off and they're doing other shit. From a Nui to freaking Spence at welterweight, whatever maneuvering that's going on there, because you still got Pacquiao with the duck. Man, don't even fucking talk about that shit no more. That shit's over. And then, even with the junior welterweight division, when is that undisputed is going to happen? And when it comes to the junior middleweight division, it don't matter who wins between Jason Rosario and Charlo. All we want to hear is the language. Who's going to fight Teixeira? Who is the winner going to fight Teixeira? That's it. That's all we want to know. We don't want to hear nothing else. We don't want to hear anything else. Whoever the winner is, are you going to fight the remaining champion on the back end? If not, it's bullshit. And then we already know, the situation as divisions get higher. You know what I'm saying? The heavyweight division. No telling when it would take for the clouds to roll in and, and rain on that shit for another year before we get to see a heavyweight unification bout. Is it possible in 2021? It depends on who wins in December. It depends on who wins in December. Because this is my last notes today. Like I always tell you, the heavyweight division pretty much supposed to run boxing. Seriously. But when it comes down to the heavyweight undisputed title, it is huge. It's one of the biggest deals possible in the sport. And I know people have their winner. Have their favorite. But listen to me when I tell you this. Do you really want to see Tyson Fury go in there and outsmart Anthony Joshua? Do you really think he's going to go in there and fight Anthony Joshua like he fought Deontay Wilder in a rematch? Do you really want to see Tyson Fury in an all-UK fight with Anthony Joshua and it be one of the most boringest fights, just like when he picked up the unified title back then and then left the sport? Do you really want to see that? No, I don't want to see that shit, because the Gypsy King has proven that he can outsmart. He's very witty, crafty. You know what I'm saying? He's an insidious type of individual that will go in there and do what he needs to do to get to the finish line the best way he knows how. And it may not be of the interest to the fans, but for him, he's cool with it. But when it comes down to Deontay Wilder, it's a whole nother story, because the energy and the barometer reaches an entirely different temperature. The intrigue of it all, he still has it when it comes to the power. I think more people would definitely like to see Deontay Wilder in a way of facing Anthony Joshua, because of definitely the intrigue of him knocking Anthony Joshua out first and foremost, stretching him. And then the fact that dates back to 2018, where it was just a mockery made of the negotiation process. You know what I'm saying? The back and forth, the disingenuous, the defamation in the media, playing games, knowing that you had other things lined up, other plans and all that lined up. So someone should have basically revoked Anthony Joshua's social media freedom of speech. You shouldn't have had him on social media talking about he'll accept 50 million and knowing goddamn well he couldn't accept that shit. Oh, you give me 50 million. That's a big enough price, right, Eddie? Yeah, give me 50 million and we'll fight tomorrow. And that's really gonna be cool. And then, the shit come back your way. You're like, oh shit. Listen to me. I'm not gonna sell my soul and my belts. I would like to see that fight. There's some dues to pay. And people will absolutely, mark my word, to this day, they will be cheering Wilder. Believe it. Believe it. Believe what you want. They will be cheering. Look, U.S. fans that was booing him, they would turn around saying, I don't know Joshua. I don't think he can do it. He got a fucked up chin and all that. Then they'll turn and try to say, okay, let me support Deontay. People be cheering Deontay, knock his ass out, Deontay, knock his ass out. Yeah, that's what it's going to be like. That's what the anthem will play out to knock out Tyson Fury. Knock out Anthony Joshua. If that scenario presented itself, it would do absolutely grand numbers. Oh, yeah. It would make so much freaking money. Seriously. I think by that time, the crowd may not be at maximum effort, but it will be back into the fact that you can say, okay, we have a live gate. Both fighters can get paid pretty decent. But they will want to see Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua, because we all know Tyson Fury is too crafty for Anthony Joshua, and he'll go in there and make it a boring ass fight and say he's undisputed, which he would be. He would be undisputed. But I'm giving the aspect of a scenario, because for me, I truly believe Deontay Wilder can get his belt back. That's what I want to see him do. And I definitely want to see in 2021 a potential heavyweight unification bout. Right now, the one that's leading from the front is the lightweight division, period. The lightweight division is leading from the front. T. Jordan in the building, salute, man. Salute to you. Appreciate you stopping through. But that's where I'm at right now, people. I definitely want to see this lightweight division materialize into something grand. And that means finishing up and making everything right before you close it out. You have every right to go at the 140 TO if you win this unification. You have every right. You don't have to freaking look. You don't have to sit up here and say, "Oh man, fuck the fans. They ain't gonna be there for you anyway." In the end, it's all about, you know, La Familia. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's about, La Familia. It's not about the fans, because in the end, they're gonna fuck you over anyway. When you lose, they don't want to be nowhere close to you. They're gonna criticize you. But when you win, they want to be right there in your silhouette. I get it. I get it. But understand this. We're in a different era right now. We're in a different era. And I'm going to tell you like this. Time you do get the belts, listen to me. No rematch. No rematch. Time you get the belts, I promise you, social media will be talking about you. And they're going to be talking about you attached to a different, with another name in the lightweight division. Promise you that. Promise you that. And you're going to have to respond. It's not going to be as easy as you think. You just can't say, "Oh, well, you know, fuck them." No, man. You know how it is, T.O. I'm giving you pre-warning, dog. I'm giving you pre-warning. Post-fight, if you're not talking that talk, and you're thinking about walking that walk without facing the last remaining world champion in this division, the 35-pound division, it's not going to be good for you. I ain't talking about anybody. I'm talking about one name to make it all right. Social media is going to be on fire. We all going to be arsonists that night. All of us, T.O. Everywhere you turn, it's going to be, "Oh, T.O., Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez, Devin Haney." It's going to be, it's only right for boxing. That's all I have to say on that today. But be sure to tune in tomorrow. I'm going to definitely try to get these weigh-ins done. You know what I'm saying? So we can kind of, you know, touch bases on these fights, man. Like, once again, I appreciate everybody who tuned in. Always. Turn up the